Hello, SS1 insurance students. You're welcome to class. In today's lesson, we are going to be looking at certificate of insurance. In the previous lesson, we treated cover note, and we said that cover note is a temporary document that is usually issued to an insured that covers him temporarily before the issuance of the certificate of insurance. So today we are going to look at the actual document, which is certificate of insurance. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to define certificate of insurance. You should be able to explain insurance contracts in which certificate of insurance is mostly issued. Let's go. Certificate of insurance is a compulsory document by law which an insured must possess in order to show evidence that an insurance policy is in place. It is a compulsory document that every insured person must have that shows a permanent proof that he actually has an insurance policy. And it covers the insurer, it covers the insured, and shows that by law he has complied with the law. Now, in what cases do we require a certificate of insurance? Basically, certificate of insurance is required in most insurance contracts, but the most pertinent, the most important contract uh, of insurance that needs certificate of insurance as utmost priority include three major ones. You have motor vehicle, you have employer's liability, and you have marine insurance. So let's take motor vehicle. Now, motor vehicle insurance, is a cover that covers the body of a vehicle, maybe against fire, against theft, against accidents, and even covers the third party. So, what are the types of motor insurance in which a certificate of insurance acts as an evidence against? Now, um, there are four major types of cover under motor insurance. One, you have act only policy. Act only policy. Act only policy is an insurance cover under motor that covers the third party. It covers the third party against risk, uh, risk or damages arising as a result of the activities of the insured. It covers the third party against death, against injury as a result of the activities of the insured. But it does not cover the property of the third party. It does not cover the property of the third party. It only covers the third party against injury and death as a result of activities of the insured. Third party fire and theft policy. That's the second one. This one covers the third party against fire, it covers the third party against theft, and it also covers the third party against liabilities uh, or activities of the insured. So it covers fire, it covers theft, and it also covers the third party against damages. The next one is third party only. Now, this third party only is a combination of is a combination of policy that covers the third party against damages to his property and the third party policy only. It covers the insured against act only policy and damages towards his properties. That is, it covers the insured against damages, a loss to his life and to his or causes losses that causes injury, and also losses to his property. The last one is a comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan involves the insured in the insurance policy or the insurance contract, where this policy covers the insured his property, that is the vehicle itself, and it also covers third party liability also. Now, the second one is the second policy, the second insurance contract in which certificate of insurance is very necessary is marine insurance. Marine insurance is cover that is taken again to cover against perils of the sea or perils of sea transport, as you well know. And we have four major policies involved in marine contract, but there's a fifth one which is building. Now, the first one is term policy. This one covers the subject matter for a stated period of time. It covers the insured for a stated period of time, not for a period of a voyage. The period of time is mostly a year. The second one is the voyage policy. Now, the voyage policy, as the name implies, voyage means a journey or a movement. Now, voyage can be for a particular journey or for several journeys. Voyage policy covers the insured against perils of the sea for a particular journey or set of journeys. It does not cover the insured for a specific period of time. It only covers for a particular journey. That is, if the journey does not actually is not actually completed, then the insured can be indemnified. Third one is the mixed policy. Now, this one is a combination of a term policy and a voyage policy. The fourth one is floating policy. Now, the floating policy only covers the insured against the perils, or it covers the insured against loss in terms of cargo. It covers the insured against loss of the cargo and for a particular shipment, basically. So it does not cover voyage, does not cover time. Are you with me? It only covers shipment, that is the cargo. The last one is building risk policy. Building risk policy covers the insured for a particular building project. Or it covers the insured from the inception of the building from the inception of the building project until the end of the project. Then the last insurance contract in which insurance document the last insurance policy in which insurance certificate is necessary is the employer's liability contract. Employer's liability means it refers to the risk or associated liabilities that is incurred by the employer as a result of death, loss, or damages suffered by his employee during the course of carrying out their duties. The losses that are incurred by the insured as a result of damages affecting his employees in the course of performing their duties is referred to as an employer's liability insurance, and it's very necessary for employers to have an employer's liability insurance cover. So we've come to the end of the class. If you have questions, comments, please feel free to drop in the question and answer section, and have a nice day. Thank you.